Family by family. Yes, very Trinidad and Tobago. Everything village by village, street by street. With all the people we meet. We care for the old, we care for the young. We caring for everyone. Yes, very Trinidad and Tobago. 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 Progressive Democratic Patriots. Yes, very Trinidad and Tobago. With one to you. Yes, very Trinidad and Tobago. And child by child. Yes, very Trinidad and Tobago. Family by family. Yes, very Trinidad and Tobago. Everything village by village, street by street. With all the people we meet. You and I. We care for the old, we care for the young. We caring for everyone. Yes, very Trinidad and Tobago. 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 PDP, Progressive Democratic Patriots.
Good morning, Tobago. Good morning, Trinidad. Good morning to all the PDP supporters and listeners out there throughout the world. We are the Progressive Democratic Patriots, and we are here for yet another day. Oh, and it is Friday, so happy Friday. We hope that you guys have a safe and productive weekend.
Yes. Good morning, Tobago. Good morning, Trinidad and Tobago. Good morning, everybody who's listening. Those who are listening online, those who are listening live. We see we have a couple viewers on live already. Thanks for joining us. And again, as Mel said, yes, this is Friday. The week has, the work week has officially come to an end. Although Mel, unfortunately,
For us, it
we
just
don't
never
have any
ends.
week or weekend or anything like that, unfortunately. But we are here. Morning, Ayana. How are you? Morning. So yes, the PDP, we are here again, and we're continuing all our discussions, what we've been talking about all week, really using the Sandals as the direction, that as the topic. But we are talking about such wider issues as it relates to democracy, as it relates to participation, as it relates to all of that stuff. So we're going to continue with that discussion this morning, So Mel, you want to jump? Hey, anybody you want to say hello to before we go into that though?
I think I'm fine with the shout outs this morning. I do have one quick announcement though.
Right.
I've been getting a lot of messages, private messages from persons asking how can they keep abreast of what's taking place with the PDP
Right.
meetings, what's going on, and how they can be a part of the conversation. Most of these people are Facebook users. So for you guys out there on Facebook, feel free to follow Dr. Faith's page. That's Dr. Faith Brebner Israel. You don't use the Brebner.
No, so if you have to search Dr. Faith B, and that would bring up the page.
Excellent.
Right.
So Dr. Faith B on Facebook. Also, you can follow my page. It's simple, Melanie Roberts on Facebook. And also like and follow the Progressive Democratic Patriots page on Facebook as well.
Right.
We usually post just about everything there. We always live. We always giving updates, photos, videos. They work. So you could always find us there. It's easy enough. If you want to fill out membership forms, if you just want to come check on us, grab t-shirts, anything like that, feel free to come find us uptown on Pigott Street. That's just behind Tambourine Square. At the PDP office. We're also there, and we're always there and ready to see you and hear from you. So this morning the program.
Well, before you do that,
Okay.
I just remember, we mentioned it once yesterday, and we should have mentioned it more often. We are opening the office in Roxborough. Once we start going into the meat of the thing, we just really forget the
these
announcement.
things, yeah.
So we are going to be opening the Roxborough office on Sunday evening. You are all welcome. It's Sunday at 3 p.m. The Roxborough office will be open. We're just going to have a little lime, a little talk, a little eat and drink up. And when I say a little, I mean a little with the eat and drink up part. So come out if you're in the area. Come and be there while we open the Roxborough office. Very soon we'll be opening my office in Bell Garden, and then we'll be opening Mel's office in Moriah. So come out on Sunday at 3 p.m. in Roxborough. That is opposite the old gas station. And when we say old gas station, we mean the older one, because we now have two in Roxborough, opposite the older gas station, closer to what was Police Street, or what's that called? Oh gosh, you already know what I'm talking about. You can't miss it. It's a big green building with the PDP logo in front of it. So come out on Sunday, be a part of the celebration.
Exciting time. Every weekend is something big for the PDP. I'm loving it. I'm definitely loving it. So this morning we have a kind of, I want to call it like a kind of intense program, and I mean like fact intense and research intense. So we hope that you guys will follow closely. So before Dr. Faith really gets into the information, I just wanted to kind of wrap all of our discussions earlier this week. I just want to go over a speech that I came across that speaks about the benefits of public participation in the tourism planning process. And I'll just cut parts of the speech because it's very important, especially considering the direction that our discussions have taken for the entire week and the press conference that we had. And it starts that in June of 1992 at the United Nations Conference on Environment and Development, which is the Real Earth Summit is what they call it.
Okay.
The governments of 182 nations adopted Agenda 21 for securing the sustainable development of planet Earth. Following the Rio Declaration, the World Travel and Tourism Council, the World Tourism Organization, and the Earth Council have jointly produced a report which has sought to translate Agenda 21 into a program of action for the travel and tourism industry. This document identifies several guiding principles for tourism development. Included, and this is where it gets very important, included are the following principles: that environmental protection should constitute an integral part of the tourism development process, and more importantly, that tourism development issues should be handled with the participation of concerned citizens, with planning decisions being adopted at the local level. And I reiterate that point, that tourism development issues should be handled with the participation of concerned citizens, with planning decisions being adopted at the local level.
Right.
And based on these and other principles of Agenda 21 for the travel and tourism industry, priority areas for action have also been identified. Among these priorities there are 3 priorities that are highlighted. These are the main ones: providing for the participation of all sectors of society in tourism development, the design of new tourism products with sustainability at the core, which is an integral part of the tourism process, partnerships for suitable development, and involving staff, customers, and communities in environment issues. I'll wrap up quickly. It is against this background that we in the Caribbean, and specifically Trinidad and Tobago, have to examine the importance of public participation in the development of a sustainable tourism sector, particularly with respect to conservation of the environment. Why involve John Public in the sitting, design, and even operations of our hotels, resorts, and other types of establishments that form the backbone of the tourism industry? The answer to this question lies within the understanding of 3 important principles. The first is that the citizens as taxpayers are economic partners in tourism development, and as such have a right to participate in the decision-making process. And we've been talking about participatory democracy and the fact that we are all stakeholders. So it says that citizens are taxpayers in the as taxpayers are economic partners in the tourism development, and as such should have a right to participate. The second is that investors in the tourism sector can avoid problems and mistakes, and we have cautionary tales from throughout the Caribbean, that can be very costly to themselves and the industry in general if a proper program of public collaboration and decision making is not adhered to. The third principle, and I'll leave you with this, is that the moral obligation to consult those who have traditionally utilized the resources available in the environment to be developed and who may suffer the consequences of lack of access, resource deprivation, or resource degradation. So there are moral implications, there are cautionary implications to try to prevent the mistakes that others made, and also there's the fact that we are economic stakeholders in our country, in our environment, and as such, this report, and it goes on and on, but the gist of it is that public collaboration is the way to go forward, and this is based on United Nations studies where all these countries, including ours, signed on to this agreement. Right. All right, over to you, Dr. Faith.
Good man. So, and what that says is it's so important to have the kind of participation that we are talking about, the kind of participation that that almost everyone in Tobago has been saying this is what needs to happen. That is so critical. Now, what I wanted to spend a little bit of time this morning talking about too is the fact that, a lot of the issues that have come up. Yesterday, we were asking all of these questions about what needs to happen. What are some of the questions that we should be asking, particularly our news people and the other people who went to Grenada? Some of the questions that they needed to ask, because really that is what this whole thing is about, eh? Tobagonians have questions about this project, and we need to have those questions answered. But talking about, somebody said to me yesterday, I can't remember who exactly said it is, but why they carry them Grenada? Why they didn't carry them Antigua and Barbuda, where they already have issues being, discussed about how it is run there, or in Barbados, because we are seeing in Barbados we have these issues also about how Sandals is being run. So if they really, really wanted to give a real, genuine, overall, unbiased view, they could have taken them to one of those other countries too, so that they get a fair mix. But maybe that's going to be the second trip.
Perhaps.
Maybe that is going to be the second trip. Now, some of the things we spoke about yesterday was, identifying how Tobago is really going to benefit from this kind of industry. And we included looking at the fact that, what about our agricultural products? Will Sandals be buying our agricultural products from us here in Tobago, or will they be importing all of these things? Will they be, said they're not hearing, will they be importing all of these things? Mega. So that's one of the questions that we have to ask. Is Tobago really available for that kind of thing? Are we ready to produce that kind of thing? So there was a report done. Let me hold up for a little bit as we do some of these technical things. You're hearing? Everything's good? Yeah. Testing. You're hearing?
Still nothing? You might know where it's going.
Okay guys, radio too loud, can't hear you all, so beggar, turn down the thing. Let's try to do this again. We're getting the audio. You're hearing us now? Those of you who are messaging us, you're hearing us now? Right. Okay. Good. Good. So, what we're talking about is there was a report. Somebody sent this to me. Somebody sent this report a couple weeks ago, as a matter of fact, when this Sandals thing. Okay, Mega, we're still getting that it's too loud. The music itself in the background is too loud. Is it off completely? It's, still too loud. So could we take off the music completely then? Okay, so what we are hearing, what we are seeing is that this person sent me a report a couple weeks ago. I can't remember exactly who is the person, or maybe the person doesn't want their name called too. And this was a report that was done in 2004. The report was done in 2004. And the name of the report was Making All Inclusives More Inclusive. Okay? Making All Inclusives More Inclusive. And it has a subtitle of A Research Project on the Economic Impact of All-Inclusive Hotel Sector in Tobago. It was done for the UK organization known as the Travel Foundation. So the Travel Foundation, they actually paid 2 consultants to come to Tobago to interview, and they interviewed a wide range of stakeholders and so forth. And this project that they reported on in 2004, that is what, 12 years ago. So we are now in 2016, 2004, which is 12 years ago, identified several key things. So very quickly, it was done so that they can look at the all-inclusive model. And what they identified was the fact that there are many hotels in Tobago that already have a sort of all-inclusive thing. When you pay for the room, you already include some breakfast. Some of them include breakfast and dinner.